Welcome to episode 49 of the Gunner Sports Network, Chat with Gunner. Yet again, another gambling podcast. Bro, let me tell you something, Ethan. First of all, I'm straight from Little League wrestling practice, which is crazy.
Is it crazy?
It's crazy because I'm with the little ones. Marcus has just turned 5. There's a couple 4-year-olds there. They're all kind of in the same mental capacity, as in they don't listen. So I have that group. Drives me crazy, but guess what? We're here. It's late. It's pushing almost 9 o'clock on a Thursday. I would love to already be done with this. At home, sitting on my couch, Marcus bathed, food on the table, watching 3 games that I'm gambling on right now because tonight is a fantastic Thursday night when it comes to gambling. We got college football. We got the NFL. We're going to touch on that in just a second. But breaking news, Ethan.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Oh, no.
You ready?
No.
So, I have been talking about this so much with someone. You know how I am when I get passionate about something.
Well, yeah. It's been a year.
Yeah, it's, you know how I get. Everyone that knows me close knows that when something comes up and I get very passionate, it's time to go, and I'm going to be all day about it. So at work, obviously, this is all I talk about. I've also got my 3 closest coworkers gambling. Also, talked them into my strategies and how I've read a couple books and how I think I'm going to be pretty good at this. I'm in the positive. I'm showing them proof. The owners of the company, who I also talk very passionately about this, and I have proven that I can win. The owners of the company now have put $4,000 into 12-point logistics. 12-point sportsbook through DraftKings. Jake, who is our our vice president of operations at 12 Point, is in control of putting it in, right? But your boy has full control of what picks are being made. We're being very strategic, unlike how I've been doing it here recently. We're playing, one play maybe a day, maybe not, whatever. So they put $4,000 in. So it's the first thing I do when we put $4,000 into the account. This happened on Monday.
Okay.
$1,000. We threw one dime on the Buffalo Bills to cover on Monday Night Football. I think it was Monday night. It might have been. No, it was Monday Night Football.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, and they won. So our very first bet, we cashed out $980.
Jeez.
So we're already up, right? So here's what we did. From there, we took 500 of that and we put it on a parlay for this weekend. And we took another 220 of that and put it on a parlay for tonight. Our second bet that actually happened was last night, Chattanooga basketball, who's absolutely balling right now. Huh? Okay, hang on 1 second, okay? We'll go potty. So, Marcus is in the studio. He's gambling. Anyways.
No, he's not.
Yes.
We can't say that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. He's not gambling. Anyways, so the second bet we actually placed.
Actually, to be fair, he's probably betting us 2 chicken nuggets.
Right.
That we get out of here.
Yeah, not money, just food.
Yeah.
Anyways, the second actual bet that took place was we took Chattanooga basketball.
Yeah.
Last night against Bellarmine.
Yeah.
Listen, Chattanooga is the best team over the past 2 seasons when it comes to covering the spread. I've been pushing this, been honing this home. We took them last night. Chattanooga yet again covered the spread. Smooth $200 for 12-point logistics, 12-point sportsbook. So we're 2-0. So we're 2-0 going into the weekend. We got games tonight. So far they're looking pretty decent. And we got games this weekend, and I'm fired up, Ethan. I'm absolutely fired up about all this. Do you have ESPN up over there?
I do not. I can.
I need you to pull ESPN up.
All right, fine.
Because we got some serious.
What games are we looking at?
All right, so we're looking at the Pittsburgh game. That's college football. The Florida Atlantic game.
Wait, Pittsburgh college?
Yeah, so Pitt, I believe they're playing Georgia Tech. And Florida Atlantic is playing Southern Miss. So if you could read those scores off, that'd be fantastic. And
all
then
right, Georgia Tech, Pittsburgh, currently 13-7.
Okay, good. Yeah. So the way we had it was Pittsburgh just has to win.
Okay,
all
cool.
What's the other one?
What's it? Just name it off.
It is Florida Atlantic and Southern Miss.
Looks like
it was at halftime when I came in here.
17-24 Miss.
Yeah. Okay. So I actually have 2 parlays on this. One of them I have Southern Miss plus 15.5, and the other one I have Florida Atlantic minus 1.5. So I need it to fall. I need Florida Atlantic to win, but not big.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's probably going to happen. I feel pretty confident in that game. right now, second half.
So hold on. If you said it was -1 for the score.
Yeah. So the bets we took tonight are called teaser bets. I told you I was gonna tell you about these. All right. So teaser bets, you tease down, tease up.
Yeah.
Right. So if it's -1.5, and you take, okay, sorry, it was -7.5.
Okay.
On one, I took Southern Miss, which pushed it to +15.5. On the other, I took Florida Atlantic, which pushed it down to -1.5.
I feel like I need to know like how that, like what that means.
Okay, so
because like if you're betting one thing, why does that make it go up?
okay, so
Like,
well, when I'm betting, okay, let's slow it down. I'm a little fired up.
explain it to the audience too.
Okay,
I am the surrogate for the audience, but
all right, so we'll break this down. We'll call this
let's do that.
Gambling 101 with Gunner. Right?
It's not really 101. I feel like this is intermediate.
This is probably 102. Okay,
201.
So there is a thing called
There's a thing called betting.
Yeah, gambling. You can straight bet, you can money line bet, or you can parlay your bet. So we're talking about a parlay at this point, which when you parlay something, it is when you add 2 games together or 3 games together. That's a parlay. It's not a straight bet. It's not one game. All right. So on a parlay, you can tease your bet. For example, let's say that Tennessee is playing Alabama in football, and Alabama is -30 when the game opens. Okay. So if you tease Alabama, it's going to help your odds. So to help your odds, if you tease Alabama, you would bite into the minus. So now instead of having to win by 30 points, they could win by 23 points.
Okay.
All right. In the same token, if you took Tennessee in that game, it would help them out to increase the amount of points that Alabama has to beat them by. So instead of Tennessee needing to lose by 30 points, now they could lose by 37 points. Is that fair? Following me?
Why? That's weird. That's weird.
If the line is 30,
Yeah.
and you take Tennessee with a tease, a 7-point tease,
Okay.
now the line is 37.
So the tease bet is just that they lose by 7 points.
Not that they lose by 7 points, they get an additional 7 points to lose from.
That's weird.
Yeah. So it increases your chances of winning. Very much so, regardless whichever way you take.
Okay.
If the only problem is when you do a parlay, it decreases your chances of winning because you're picking multiple games,
yeah.
which increases your payout.
Yeah.
So like if one bet is -110 or 110, like $110 to win 100.
Yeah.
And you do a parlay and you do 2 games, now you might just have to put $100 to win 285.
Okay.
Or put 3 games, now you put $100 to win 500.
Okay.
If you do a teaser, that's going to decrease your payout. So
Yeah.
now to hit a 3-game teaser might pay out the same as a 1 actual game because the odds of it happening within that 7 points.
So teasers are just like making bets that are lower than what an actual bet would be,
Correct.
just to sweeten the pot
Yes.
a little bit.
You can't tease 1 game. You have to have 2 games in to tease.
Yeah.
But now that 2 game is only going to pay out the same as that 1 game.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So if you have a 2-game parlay on one actual ball game,
Yeah.
most of the time you have to put in 110 to win 100.
$100. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I've seen consistently.
Okay.
Like maybe it's like 105.
Okay. So now that's minus 110 odds. When you play a parlay of 2 games, pretty much no matter what it is, your odds now go to plus 185. So you put $100 in to win 185.
Yeah, because it's harder to hit both of them. That makes sense.
Correct. But if you do a 2-game parlay with a teaser, it might be break even. You put 100 in to win 100.
Makes sense.
So the odds are still in your favor.
So if you make since teaser has to be 2 games. Does that technically mean you're making 3 bets?
No.
So it's just 1 game. It's the teaser bet and then the game bet.
No, you can play 2 different games.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you do a teaser, in total you're technically making 3. You're putting down 3 bets.
Nope. Well, yeah, you're putting. Well, no. If you do 2 games, it's 2. If you do 3, it's 3.
Okay.
So like tonight we have we teased the Pittsburgh was originally, I believe, -6 or -7, and Southern Miss was +8.5, and we took the points on the football game, which was 44.5, the NFL game. So now that was originally what the line was. So it switched to Pittsburgh now was a pick'em because the 7 went down to 0. Southern Miss went up to 15.5, and the points went up to 51 because I picked the under. It just makes the betting easier. Anyways, that's what we got going on tonight. What's the is the NFL game started yet?
What NFL game was it?
It's man, who's playing tonight? It's the Rams and the Patriots.
Okay. Rams are already up by 7.
Love
and they
that.
have the ball.
And they have the ball. So how many okay, hang on. What's the
1st and 10 at the Rams 23.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
First quarter?
Yeah, still first quarter.
All right. Cool. All right, so that's where we're at. And then coming off a pretty big weekend. I had a bad day on Monday, I believe. No, Tuesday. Yeah, I had a bad day Tuesday.
Makes sense.
Wasn't a bad day on our home account. It was a bad day on my account because I did the one thing you're not supposed to do in gambling, and that's chase. So I played a game. I lost. I was like, oh, I can get it back in this next one. I lost. Oh, I can get it back in this next one. I lost. I quit for the day.
That's what I've been doing. It feels like is like, oh, I lost. Well, I'll wait for this next game and bet to make it back.
Yeah. So you can't chase. You got to pick games that you think are good.
I'm saying at $8.49.
And stay with it. Yeah. So that's where we're at. But other than that, all's good in the world. Aliens are real.
No, nothing is good in the world.
There's a galactic federation.
Which, I mean, if it's true, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
If we're not the only things that exist in the universe, there is more than likely some kind of government out there.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And we're not even worthy of it yet.
No.
Which is perfect.
Which, like, personally, like, I find that fascinating. If there is, like, a galactic federation out there, and we haven't even been invited yet.
Dude, we're chimpanzees with nuclear bombs.
That's what I mean. Like, we think for us on Earth, we are very, 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 like, advanced.
Yeah.
Chimps literally, like, within the last year have started using stone tools.
Yeah.
That they've made themselves.
Yeah.
Which is
starting over again is what's happening.
Well, it's chimpanzees with their own evolutionary line.
Yeah.
Because we're different enough from them. We're closer to like potatoes and broccoli.
But we probably came from them, so you never know.
We came from a common ancestor. You gotta remember that.
Yeah.
We did not come from chimpanzees. Chimpanzees and us came from the same thing.
Right. I'm with it.
But anyway, no, if there's a galactic federation, we're not even worthy. Like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I have a show for you to watch though. It's called Star Trek. First Contact.
That
is First Contact is legit, like when the Vulcans come down and like the world goes crazy because it's like, oh, we aren't the only things in the universe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll check that out.
And I can't remember what it's called. There's another one that's very, very good. That's like the first USS Enterprise, or like the first ship to go into space and join the Federation.
Oh.
Let me see what it is.
Oh, so we're really playing Star Trek right now. Like, this is real life.
Star Trek is pretty, like, it's down to earth. Like, if it's weird to say it like this. You probably really shouldn't. But if Star Wars is Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones is Star Trek. But Star Trek is like, it's not that bad.
Okay, I've never watched it. Literally never watched it.
I think it's Voyager. No, Voyager is different. Hold on. Let me find out which one I'm thinking of, because there's a show in the Star Trek universe that it's like I said, the first ever manned mission out into the. Is it just Enterprise? It might just be Enterprise. I'll remember it if I.
There's a Black Mirror episode that's like a Star Trek spin-off.
Oh yeah, that's
good.
a weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird show. Black Mirror. Oh, God, don't even get me started. I love that show.
I do too.
Yeah, it's Star Trek Enterprise. It's pretty freaking good.
What year did it come out?
2001, 2005.
All right, I'll check it out.
It's around the same era as like
Netflix,
Stargate.
Amazon Prime.
I think it's on Netflix. That's where I watched it, and that was probably 6 or 7 years ago now.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, no, jeez. I don't know what to think anymore.
I don't know.
Me and Chris have been, starting this new like little news.
Yeah.
Just like him posting stuff a bunch.
Yeah.
And it's just keeping up with everything. It's just like, oh, gosh.
Yeah.
20 states side with Texas to say that Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and one other state, I think it's Nevada, that are suing those states. The 21, I guess, 20 states in Texas that are suing those states because their elections are so messed up.
Really?
So the story is, and I'll make this quick because Marcus has to pee.
Yeah.
The story is that, and this is the whole thing that was going on with Pennsylvania, is that Pennsylvania, the legislature there, were going to pass mail-in voting laws. But then when COVID hit, they didn't have time to go through all the bureaucracy. So they just started making changes, not following their own constitution, their state constitution.
Right.
Let alone the federal constitution.
Right.
So the argument was way back a couple weeks ago, right after the election, was that, hey, us here in Pennsylvania, one of the GOP won, but he and a couple other guys that were in races this year were just like, we didn't follow our own constitution. This election is fraudulent. It's not that there's like voter fraud or anything like that. It's just on the offset, we did this wrong. It's like if you're playing poker and you only deal out 5 cards to everybody. Why are you dealing out 5 cards? You're only supposed to get 2.
Right.
It's stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you cheated. Everything was wrong in the first place.
Yeah.
So Pennsylvania itself, its Supreme Court, didn't go through with it, and then that case went up to the Supreme Court. Didn't really do anything with it either, which was very strange. I'm guessing that the Supreme Court didn't necessarily want to get into it because of how polarized everything is right now, and them making a decision on something like that with how shaky of ground it had, just because there's a few legal loopholes that are against it, because like I think it's like a laches is what it's called in legal terms, and it's if you have a claim for like filing a lawsuit, you can't just wait an X amount of time. You have to make that lawsuit prior to said time. There's a what's it called? Statute of limitations, essentially. And because they waited so long and they waited until after it happened,
right.
There's the legal argument, which is a dumb argument, that they shouldn't have waited, and if they had an issue, they should have brought it up immediately.
Take over the hot seat.
I'm talking through here. You guys can go.
You sure? All
yeah.
right.
Go real quick. I'll keep talking. But anyway, hello everybody. You know what? I'll come up there.
Yeah, come up there.
Go. Hello. Oh Lord. It's my ugly mug again. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, latches and the Supreme Court. So evidently, from what I can gather, is because the Pennsylvania Supreme Court and their legislature doesn't necessarily want to do anything with this case, Texas and evidently 20 other states have decided we're just gonna go ahead and sue all these states that are battleground states because they didn't follow proper procedure for their elections. And now, I'm no legal expert. I have no idea if any of this really has any legal grounding, but it seems like, for me personally that we are very divided as a country, and this is a bad time for everything. I'm just killing time until Gunner and Marcus come back. But oh, I hear them. They're coming back. Marcus, you good?
We're back. Yep.
Oh man. Oh man, this sinking ship is still sinking.
Is it? All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, I'll give you your seat back. I'll continue.
Now I know we just lost 1 million viewers.
Oh
So-
yeah. All million of our viewers
All a million.
just tuned out immediately.
Yep.
No, what I was saying was basically like I finished up telling them, but I'll tell you as well. The 20 states in Texas are, instead of this Pennsylvania level, like citizen level suit going against Pennsylvania itself, Texas and these 20 states are deciding, hey, Texas Attorney General, whatever it's called.
District Attorney?
No. The
the
Attorney
attorney-
General of
okay.
Texas has said, hey, y'all didn't do your election right. And because y'all didn't do the election right, you're disenfranchising my voters in my state because of this election. We're not getting our voice out there to be heard because you guys couldn't do it right.
So I'm assuming these 20 states that are suing are 20 states in favor of Trump.
Which is what you would assume. However, 20 states is a lot. 21 states is a lot. I don't think
That's half the country.
That's almost half the country. Yeah. Let me look. States that let's just election map, because I'm curious now that you mention it.
It's going to be Texas, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Florida.
So if we count just red states, 1, 2, you have you count for me. Idaho,
1,
Montana,
2,
Wyoming,
3,
Utah,
4,
North Dakota,
5,
South Dakota,
6,
Nebraska,
7,
Kansas,
8,
Oklahoma,
9,
Texas,
10,
Alaska,
11,
Louisiana,
12,
Arkansas,
13,
Missouri,
14,
Iowa,
15,
Mississippi,
16,
Alabama,
17,
Florida,
18,
South Carolina,
19,
North Carolina,
20,
Tennessee,
21,
Kentucky,
22,
Indiana,
23,
Ohio,
24,
and West Virginia.
25. I'm counting.
So, 25 states are red on this map, on the election map.
Okay.
If we hit over 25 states, that's big. It's huge.
What do you mean? Why is that huge?
Because if say these 25 states say, "Hey, that's some bullshit that y'all pulling up there." Well, the key is that it's
now we
Michigan,
have a civil war.
It's Michigan. Don't say that. It's Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. I believe it's 4 states. If not Minnesota, but I don't think Minnesota is up for grabs.
Okay.
Really, because they were pretty blue all the way through.
Right.
But say in a week we get a report from the Texas Attorney General that says, yes, we have 26 states signing on to help us talk about this and suing those 4 states for not following their own state constitutions, let alone the national constitution.
That means one state was blue, and that's all they really need.
Well, actually, come to think of it, now that I'm actually like remembering some of these stories I've seen, people are saying Nevada is in that list, and Nevada was blue.
So they just need one more red state.
I mean, they just need plenty of states to say, like, if it's 26 states, then yes, automatically that's huge, because that means half the country is saying, hey, get your act together. We're not going to listen to you if you're not going to play by the rules.
Right.
In that, at the same time, seeing how many of those states voted in Biden that have gone in that direction, that are still suing, that's crazy to me, because it just says, like, this isn't necessarily a partisan, like, we want Trump in. It's just, hey, you guys didn't do an election right. We can't just go along with this election in good conscience.
Right.
Which, personally, I don't know how anybody can go in good conscience with this election. Anyway, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
So
it's, I mean, like, And the whole thing was, regardless if Trump wins or Biden wins or whatever the outcome is.
At this point, we're just gambling.
Well, yeah. But, dude, regardless of the outcome, it's embarrassing that we don't have our stuff together enough to have a smooth election.
No, we don't. And that's what's frustrating. And realistically, like these have been issues probably for a very long time.
Yeah, but now social media.
But now everyone cares.
Yeah.
Because either you want Trump to win or you don't.
Yeah.
Nobody wants Biden to win.
Well, and everyone has a voice.
Exactly.
Like,
and that's not a bad thing.
This is really the first. I mean, the last election was like that too, but this is really the first election where like people actually care to talk online and people listen to those people, even the people that don't matter.
Yeah.
You know,
if anything, TikTok, which is crazy. I've come around to TikTok. I used to not really care for it because it was just like the cringy Zoomers. Because I mean, I'm Gen Z, but I'm not a Zoomer.
Right.
You know, Zoomers are the very short attention span kids, ages maybe like the first Zoomers are like maybe 18
right.
at the most, maybe 16.
Yeah.
But those kids all can have a voice right now.
Yeah.
They can just go on TikTok, and if they say something on TikTok, it can spread to literally everyone in the world at this point.
Yeah.
It can be on anybody's phone. And even then, like, TikTok is so interesting because I get messages from friends that aren't even really like messages. They don't say anything with it. It's just sending me links to funny TikToks.
Yeah.
And the implementation for Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, all of that stuff is that, you know, at least for Android, there's a little browser pop-up. Instead of having to go to TikTok itself, it just pulls it up in the browser on the web page version of TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's so easy for me to consume TikTok content without even actually opening the app now.
Yeah.
And so you take all of that, you take all of these things, and you put it up to an election year. Everyone's talking, everyone's caring. And that's good. Again, if anything, and I've said this in 2016, and I'm glad to say it again, at least everyone cares.
Yeah.
At least everyone's saying, I had a line in the sand, and everyone else, like, everyone's feeling like their line in the sand has been crossed.
Yeah.
In some shape, form, or fashion.
Right.
And I've heard a few people that were very anti-Trump. Nobody that was pro-Biden, but the fact that they weren't pro-Biden also led into the fact that it was just like, I mean, Hunter Biden's officially being investigated by the FBI.
Yeah, just
for tax reasons.
Just waited afterwards, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, those tax reasons could also mean, like the statute in like the federal investigations book or whatever. Underneath it, for the reasons would be taxes or money laundering.
Yeah.
And there's all of this stuff about China, about Russia, about Hunter Biden, about Biden's brother.
Did you hear about we're positioning our naval fleets on the east and west coast?
I had no idea about that.
Yep.
That's
and
freaky.
Supposedly, Russia and China are positioning their naval fleets in a striking distance of a one-day trip to the United States.
Jesus Christ. No. I don't need to hear that. I didn't need to know that.
Yeah, look that up.
I hate that. Yeah. I literally could have gone all day without knowing that.
Yeah.
I'd rather it red dawn me and just out of nowhere there's just fucking
China's
paratroopers.
buying millions of high number of millions of more barrels of oil than they've been buying in years past at this very moment. Don't know what that's about. But.
Don't know what that's about.
Anyways.
I mean, at the same time, did you also hear, last point, because we're about 30 minutes. That's good enough for a show. Did you also hear that China is trying to make a super soldier?
Well, I'd hope so. Why are we not?
Who's to say we haven't?
Sitting right here.
Oh, hi, Marcus.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, it all just comes out. Marcus
is
Captain
soldier.
America.
That's right. I don't know, man. A bunch of things.
It's gonna get crazy. I gotta go play Cyberpunk.
I'm excited for you. Let me know how that goes.
Dude, I will bring it in and we can just sit. I'll bring it to your house and we can just sit and play it.
All right.
It seems like one of those games where, like, it's a single player game, but it's probably going to be really fun sitting on the couch next to somebody else and just having that back and forth of just like, what the heck is going on?
Oh, real quick about video games.
Oh, yeah?
So, retro style here. You ready?
Yeah.
Me and the guys at the office, we've ended all this new sports reckoning that we've gone through.
Reckoning.
We're getting excited about NCAA football, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we played Madden the other day, and I was like, yeah, that's all right. The only reason I don't like Madden is because I love NCAA football.
Yeah.
Well, they stopped it in 2014
Yeah.
because of the whole, just college kids.
Yeah,
wanting
nobody's
to be-
really necessarily
college
playing.
kids want to get paid anyways.
Yeah.
So one of the best sports franchises of all time on EA Sports just ups and quits.
Yeah.
Well, that video game is now pretty expensive on eBay,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's like, depending on who you get it from, anywhere from $100 to $250.
It's not bad.
All right, for a PlayStation 3 game. So Jake at work bringing his PS3 into the office, and your boy just bought a brand new sealed NCAA 14 for the boys for Merry Christmas.
Of course.
Because I was gonna get them something about $25 anyway. So I'm like, might as well just do that, right? So we got the game. So the game should be here December 18th, and I'm pretty fired up about it.
Hell yeah.
Pretty fired up about
Dude.
That's my favorite game of all time.
Maybe December. I shouldn't say it. I'm going to knock on wood. Maybe December won't be that bad. Maybe we'll get out of it
I think we'll be all right.
without the end of the world.
I think we'll be all right. I think
Hopefully.
we're going to figure it out. But I got to get Marcus on. We got to get in the bath. And I got to watch some games. I got the second half to watch on several games.
Yeah.
Check those scores real quick.
I'll check those scores. I'll check those scores on footage. Florida Atlantic is 17-31. Southern Miss.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's good for one of mine.
Pittsburgh Georgia Tech 16-7.
Pittsburgh?
Yes, Pittsburgh. And then the last one is Rams.
What score?
0-10 at 1 minute 30 in the first quarter. Third and 4 at Rams 21.
And that's the Patriots. The Rams got the ball.
Rams got the ball.
That's good.
The Rams are just taking Patriots to town.
I can't believe Florida Atlantic.
What is going on with the Patriots this year?
They got Cam Newton.
Poor Newton. Like, he's probably a decent player.
Yeah.
He
He's just
doesn't
not
have-
Brady.
Yeah, you like that's what's bad about having a star player like Brady. It's just like, oh,
Well, it's not even the star.
there's
Like,
somebody else.
he's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
Like, he's an elite.
yeah,
He's a game breaker.
makes sense.
But, yeah, I mean, the Patriots just don't have an offense, but they have a great defense, which sucks.
Of course.
Because usually they have a fairly decent defense with Brady, but their offense is better. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways,
All right.
out of here.
Yeah, let's
See
go.
ya. We'll see you on episode 50 next week.
Oh man.
Fired up.